Alright, so the next one, I think I will choose confidence. Alright, so guys, when you're confident, it's kind of a prerequisite to get whatever you want from women. And let me tell you, when you're not confident and you're second guessing everything you're doing, you're not even gonna be in the F tier. You're gonna be like unnoticeable. You're gonna be like kind of unattractive. You're gonna be way down below. Like you're gonna discuss them when you're second guessing yourself and you look unsure and you don't know what you're doing. Like you're very anxious and scared. That's very unattractive. So the opposite is true. When you're super confident, you're super attractive. So it's gonna go in the A tier because you can be confident but being like super ugly. You're not gonna be the S tier. But you can kind of be ugly but confident and like dress well and know how to make women laugh. You're gonna be in the A tier, very attractive. Confidence goes a long way, not only with women but in life in general. People gonna be more receptive to you, they're gonna trust you more. You're gonna be more influential when you are confident. So it's gonna be in the A tier. Women love that. They're gonna let you, like, they're gonna follow your lead. They're gonna let you lead, do everything. Because it's kind of a rare quality. Most people are kind of unsure of themselves. They go through life like not stepping out of line, not crossing boundaries and everything. They kind of stay in their place. That's like the baseline of most humans. But when you're super confident and you go like all above to accomplish whatever you want to do in life, that's definitely noticeable, not only to women but to everybody else. So that makes you a very attractive in the eyes of everyone. Alright, now let's for fun take this one, having a puppy. So this one, guys, is kind of like a hack whenever you want to speak with women or you want them to come see you and try to spark a conversation. Having a puppy, like a good looking puppy, not a ugly dog, like an old ugly dog that nobody gives a F about. I'm talking a little puppy, that's cute, that's kind of stumbling around. That's super cute, and it's gonna really get you to talk to a lot of women. From the then on, all you have to do is try to spark a conversation. So having a puppy, she's not gonna smash with you just because you have a dog. So it won't go in the C tier, and you're not relationship material or anything above just because you have a puppy, but you're definitely being the D tier. Like, that's the first one right here. Having a puppy definitely gonna attract like a super big crowd. Everybody, not even just women, but like everyone is gonna want to come and pet it. But if you're smooth with it, you can just spark a conversation, try to make them laugh, try to exchange numbers and see where it goes from then on. But yeah, it's definitely like a powerful tool to have. Even if you're not like that much into dogs, just for women, like it's worth it. Alright, so this one goes in the D tier. Then we have being smart. Okay, this one, guys, it's a big one. That goes a long way. Nah, I'm definitely joking. Being smart, guys, it's not to say it's unattractive, but like women don't give a F about smart guys. You can try to talk to them about philosophy and everything. Like, you're gonna hear women all the time say, oh, I need a smart man in my life. Like, they're gonna give like their like super big list of what they're looking for in a guy, and they often say like, oh, I want a smart guy. But that's so straight up BS. They don't want a smart guy. If you're smart and you're kind of proud about it, and you're definitely smarter than her, it can kind of like rub her the wrong way. She might feel like stupid around you. She might feel like she's way down below than you, because women, because they're physically inferior than us, they have a lot of pride in their intellectual. But if you're too much in their face with your how smart you are, they can kind of feel insecure. Women, like, they want to compensate for their lack of physical strength by giving you advice and by guiding you in some way, even if you don't need it. Like, they want to feel like as if like they're part of the team. So you're pretty much gonna bore them with your how smart you are. It's unattractive, it's not funny. Like, you're not gonna seduce a woman. Like, even if they say they do, like it, it's not true. You're gonna bore them. It's pretty unattractive, and it goes in the friend zone. Even friend zone, like, it's she's not gonna be like your best friend just because you're smart. Like, it's not really a trait of character that women are looking for. So that's why you should never listen to what women says, because they don't have any idea what they want. Like, being smart, it's not at all attractive. They like funny guys. They like guys that give them a lot of attention, that makes them forget about their everyday life, and just like transport them into fantasyland. When you're too smart, it's kind of gonna be hard for you to do that. You're just too logical. You're just too rigid. Too much into real life. So that's pretty much boring, unless you're using your intelligence to learn how to be funny and seductive. Okay, that's another thing. But the main trait of character is not smartness, it's being funny and romantic. But just being straight up smart, it's boring. I'm gonna put it in the friend zone, but even there, like, it's women won't be friends with you just because you have a big brain. Alright, so that's gonna be it for this one. Now let's go through having a nice smile. So having a nice smile, guys, is very important, because let's say you're a good looking dude, but you always have like a straight face, like a resting straight face, like, not to say the B word, but you always have like a straight face, and you're attractive, but women doesn't know if you're like approachable. They don't know if you're a cool guy, like easily approachable. When you're smiling, you're kind of disarming whatever you have in front of you. You're kind of inviting them into your own sphere, into your own life, into your energy. You're giving to the new universe positive vibe. So smiling is super important, but smiling alone won't do much. Like, I'm gonna put it in the detail, like, she's gonna notice you for sure, because you're gonna invite her, like, to your life. It's kind of smiling to strangers is kind of an invitation. And women should learn from that. If you want a good looking guy to if you find a guy attractive and you want him to talk to you, just smile at him. Like, a lot of them, 80% maybe won't go talk to you, but at least maybe 20%, maybe that's a generous too. But if you're smiling, it's kind of gonna give him a hint to come talk to you. It's the same thing for men. When a man have a nice smile, and you go talk to her, she's gonna feel way more at ease. She's gonna feel like she can trust you more, because when you're having like a neutral face, she doesn't know, like, you might be good looking, but she doesn't know if you're nice, if you're like a psychopath or whatever. She's just like on the fence, and she doesn't know what to think of you. At least when you're smiling, you're giving her a hint that you're a nice guy. Alright, so the only reason why it's not going higher, because like having a nice smile alone, it's not enough. But let's say like you have like a lot of the other thing covered, plus having a nice smile, you're gonna go in the 8. You're very attractive. But just having a nice smile alone, it's not enough, but she's definitely gonna notice you. So I'm gonna put it in the D tier. D tier, guys, let me tell you, like, it's not because it's in the D tier that it's bad, it's just not as strong as the other one, you know but it's still like a powerful tool you can use to make yourself more attractive. So like everything you're gonna see here like are all tools, like good thing for you that's gonna work in your favor, but it's not just like at the same position. All right, now I'm gonna take having a deep voice. Now having a deep voice, guys, is straight up attractive. Like you look more manly. You make yourself apart from other people when you have a deep voice. People feel more secure with you. You look more confident. You just look more manly, and you gotta remind yourself like being attractive to women, it's kind of a dance. It's like the dichotomy, like the opposite between being feminine and masculine. So for a lot of guys, like a feminine voice in a woman, it's very attractive to us. Just like for a woman, having a deep voice, it's very attractive to them. People trust you more. You look more confident. You look more strong. So this one is definitely very attractive. So it's gonna go in the 8th tier. And if you don't have like a deep voice right now, it's very easy to do some voice exercise, some breathing exercise. There's a ton of tutorial on the internet for that, to learn how to have like a better voice, how to have a better pacing and everything else, and whatever. But it's definitely something that you can work on very easily. So this one is like a simple step you can kind of twitch up a little bit to make yourself better. So, and it's very powerful. So it's gonna go in the 8th year. All right. Now the jawline. This one is very important. A lot of women, like there's some women that they will say that they prefer the more feminine guy, like the K-pop singers or whatever. They look very feminine, but from what I've noticed, they're popular not because of their look. Maybe they look, it's kind of okay. They're not bad looking. But if they're that popular, it's not because of their look, it's because of their social status. Let me tell you, having a nice jawline goes way more a long way than looking feminine. So I'm telling you guys, never trust what women want or what they say they want. You gotta observe it by yourself. And let me tell you, when you see somebody with a nice jaw, like maybe not like too square, that's kind of exaggerated, but like just like a nice jaw, like you can see the jaw, you're pretty lean in the face, that's very attractive, not only to women but like to everybody in general. You're just like more good looking when you have a strong jaw. So this one will go in the S tier. That's why like mewing is so popular, or looks maxing is super popular right now, because it makes a difference. Like just don't listen to what women says when it comes to what they're looking for in a guy. The only reason like those K-pop feminine looking guys are popular, it's not because of their look. Like they're good looking, but it's not like S tier, she lost over you good looking. If they lost over them, it's for their social status. I'm telling you, this right here is super powerful. But in everyday life, if you don't have the status, you're way better off with a strong jaw than with something else. So this one definitely goes a long way. All right, without wasting any more time, let's go to this one, assertive. So assertiveness, guys, this one goes straight into the S tier, she lost over you. When women just are simping over you and they just want to sleep with you with nothing else. And like just a disclaimer, when you're in the S tier and she lost over you and she's simping over you, you're already like 90% all the way into being in a relationship with her. You're maybe not like all the way in, but you're displaying 90% of what you need to have whatever you want from women. Women only sleep with men with who they see a potential relationship with them. So when you're in the S tier, when you have like your yeah when you're in the S tier, you just need to display little bit of kindness, a little bit of respect, and like it's you can do what you can have all you want from her, you know. So being assertive, like it's very important. When you're like a strong dude, like everything that's gonna signal to her subconscious that you're a strong dude, you know, like your social status, being muscular, strong jaw, being assertive, it's gonna give her like the hint subconsciously that you're a strong dude and you're like the best reproduction option around her right now, you know. So this one is very powerful. You just like look more confident now. You don't look more confident, you are more confident. You can people in their place, you know. You can lead, you can, you know, impose like a certain structure around you. That's very important in all spheres of life. So this one will go in the S tier. S tier, just like your height, you know. Height, it's kind of known to everybody, like the height is super important. The only thing where like you gotta trust women on what they say, it's with height. When they say they want a 6 foot tall, that's definitely true, you know. Like they simping so much over tall guys. This one, like, it's already known to most people, but I think it's still like underrated. When you're a tall dude, like women are simping over you, they notice you. Like you can lack everything else, you know, not too much, but like, let's say you're tall, you have a nice haircut, and you're kind, yeah, you're respectful. Okay, now you can, like, you're in the S tier for sure. Like women are gonna simp over you. They love tall guys so much. Let's say you're a tall guy, but and you don't have any success with a woman. It's because like you're severely lacking in everything else, you know. But you just need to work a little bit on some other things, like, okay, how you speak, make yourself presentable just a little bit. You don't even have to be all the way in. You just need to, okay, somewhat look good, somewhat be kind, somewhat respectful, somewhat dress well, you know, not all the way in, like where you spent like hundreds of dollars and hundreds of hours improving yourself. You just need like to refine yourself just a little bit, and you're gonna be in the S tier. She's gonna lust over you, you know, or at least you're gonna be very attractive. But let's say like you work more and more on how you look, and you're a tall guy, like it's game over. Like that's like the one thing, like that's you cannot work on, it's being tall. But it's the one thing that, like, it's a game changer. Like if you're born tall, like at least like 6 foot, it's pretty much impossible for you to not reproduce, you know. Like you're all the way in with women, you know. But if you're only tall, and you're not having much success, it's because like you don't know how to present yourself, you know. But I'm telling you, if you're tall, you don't need to do much for women to simp over you. So this one is definitely the S tier. It's a big one. It's not like as big as your social circle, you know, your status. Sorry. Social status, or being muscular. Even being muscular is a very big one. But like that's the big tree right there. That's the big tree you gotta remember. Okay, this one. So we have social status, being tall and muscular. Okay, this one. Whoo! The world is the limit. The sky is the limit, baby. All right. Then on top of that, if you have a square jaw, like a strong jaw, and you're assertive or whatever, and you dress well, deep voice, confident, you can make her laugh, yo, that's game over, you know. That's game over. Okay, but let's say for the dudes that don't have like the height, you can still be like muscular. You can still work on your jaw. You know, there's a lot of exercise. It's been proven you can enhance your jaw, like naturally, you know, not even surgically, but naturally you can enhance it. All right, social status, you can work on that. To know how to dress, or to make a woman laugh, to work on your voice, it's all things you can work on, you know. So you don't have much. Let's say like you don't have the height, but you have everything else. You're still an S tier guy. You still, like, at the very least, you're an A tier guy. And when you're in the A tier, like you can do whatever you want with women, but you just gotta put a little bit more work than the guy in the S tier, because the guy in the S tier, like, women are simping over them, you know. But it's very rare. Like, it doesn't happen to much people. But like in the A tier, like if you're in the A tier, like you just need to put just a little bit, you just gotta put yourself a little bit out there, and you can have like, you're never gonna have any problem with women, you know. You're gonna date them whenever you want to. Like getting dates is easy, sleeping with them is easy. If you want to be in a relationship with them, it's super easy too, you know. And it's all things you can work on. So you guys don't have like much of an excuse. All right, so let's get going because the video is gonna get a little bit long. Having a beard, guys, goes a long way. It's straight up in the A tier. You know, like not any kind of beard. Like having a nice beard is not having like hair on your all over your face. You know, it's not. That's not having a nice beard. Having a nice beard, it's like a nice full beard that you go to the barber, and you know how to trim well. You know, you do a fade with your beard. That's super attractive. Or you just like have a short, dense beard. That's super attractive. It's gonna almost always enhance your face in any way. You know, so this one is definitely very attractive. But let's say like you have if you don't have a nice jaw, having a beard is gonna help you, you know. But if you don't have a beard but you have a nice jaw, it's super attractive too, you know. So those goes hand in hand. Like, but you're better off with a nice jaw because you can rock both, you know. You can wear the beard, and you without a beard you're still good looking, you know. So this one, that's why like this one is in the S tier, and this one it's in the A tier. You're very attractive. If you know how to do it well, it's gonna improve, you know, your attractiveness. All right, and then last one, having a tan. Wait, one moment. Having a tan, like it's definitely like more attractive to women than not being tanned, you know. Like being like too white, like super like snow white, that's not attractive, you know. You gotta, you know, women always say, like oftentimes you're gonna hear women say like they like the tall brown guy, you know. That's because like being tan, it's just more attractive, you know. But just being tan alone, it's not enough. So I'm gonna put it, I think, in the D tier. She notices you, but she's not even gonna really notices you if you're just tan. Like she's not gonna care about you, you know. But let's say you're displaying all the other qualities plus you're tan, it's gonna go in the very attractive. So let's say like you're in good shape, you have a nice voice, yeah, you get a nice haircut, but you're gonna go in the A tier, very attractive, you know. So anyway, that's it for this video, guys. Let me know what you think. Talk to me a little bit about your experience. If you agree or disagree, tell me why. And you know, like this is my opinion, but like it's not 100%. Like we can still have a debate, and maybe you disagree, like something should go above the other or something should go like below the other. It doesn't really matter. Like that's my opinion. If you can prove me wrong, it's okay. Just let me know, and I hope you enjoyed the video and you learn some things. And keep in mind, most of those things in the list are things you can work on, you know. So you guys out there that struggling with women, with a little bit of guidance in the right direction, you should be able to improve how attractive you are to women pretty easily if you're willing to put a little bit of effort in the right direction, you know. Maybe you need some coaching or whatever, but it's definitely possible to enhance yourself and be more attractive. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoy, and see you next time in the next video.